Hello, my fellow members of Boston Sports Nation. Welcome to another edition of the Royal Rooters podcast. This is episode 40. I think we're on 40 now. I could be wrong. We could be on 40. Well, this is the February the 18th of 2026 episode. All right. So here we are. We're going to talk about. First off, we're going to talk, like to start out with, we're going to talk about how our Bruins are doing in the Winter Olympics and the quarterfinals that were played today. We're also going to talk about a little interesting fact. Red Sox just kind of released what their jersey will look like in 2026, at least the home ones, and what they're doing with Fanatics, and a little bit of like some little to the detail error that's now gotten everybody pissed off on everywhere and leading a campaign to make sure that Fanatics never makes our jerseys ever again. Yeah, and maybe we might go over maybe as a little bit like somewhat of an exercise for the Patriots schedule for 2026, who their opponents will be home and away. Maybe we might do that, and then we'll wrap it up with maybe looking ahead to Celtics and Warriors as they restart action tomorrow night after coming back from the All-Star break. All right. Today, so it looks like Slovakia beat Germany today 6-2, but nobody on the Bruins was on that team, on any of those teams. But they advanced to the semifinals. And here we are. So for Czechia, we had David Pastrnak, and they took on Canada, which had a former Boston Bruin, as in Brad Marchand, on the team. But we're talking about current players right now, and it looks like sadly Czechia fell just short to Team Canada in overtime. They lose this one 4-3. Canada moves to the semifinals. All right, let's see. Won't go too much in the scoring depth. Oh, looks like Pastrnak got a goal. Nice. In the first period. Yeah. 14 minutes and 49 seconds into the first period. So literally close to the end of the first period, or basically like late in the first period to make it 2-1. Okay. Yeah. Nice. All right. Let's see. Get a assist either. Nah. Just a goal, a power play goal. It looks like this is his second goal of the Olympics. All right. But yeah, sadly, so he'll probably be back soon, practicing with the Bruins pretty soon, if that's the case, since his Olympic duties are now over with. Sadly. All right, as I said, yeah, he played today. So here's his stat line: 1 goal, no assist, a plus minus of a 1, and then 3 shots. Man, 3 shots. No penalty. Is it penalty? And then PMI, I'm not really sure what PMI is. Yeah, I'm not too, yeah. But, yeah. All right. Good. All right. Well, not good that they lost, but yeah, you know what I mean. All right, and then we had Finland took on Switzerland. And we had one Bruin playing on this team for Finland, Henry Hukiharju. And Finland will advance to the semifinals with a 3-2 victory. All right, nice. And OT, another overtime game. Man, close games. All right. Henry Hukiharju, he did not do any scoring or wise. What was his stat line? Here we are. No goals, no assists, a plus minus of 0. 1 shot, man, had 1 shot, no penalty, whatever. Yeah, and then, yeah. I could be wrong. What PMI? Hold on. Okay, never mind. They're not giving you really any gloss or anything. All right, but yeah, 3-2 for Finland, so they move on, as I said, as semifinals. And then we have 2 Bruins, or technically 3, facing off against each other between Team USA and Team Sweden. And once again, this game also goes into overtime too, with the United States winning 2-0. Nice. All right, so they will advance to the semifinals, where they will. Well, we won't jump too ahead on that. All right, so Sweden, Elias Lindholm. Oh, well, actually, let's go the scores. All right, scoring. All right. Yeah, no, Bruins scored. Nobody got an assist. Yeah. Quinn Hughes was basically the overtime hero in this one. All right, but he's not a Bruin, so. All right. But yeah, nobody. Yeah, so yeah, nobody got a score. As I said, so which means Elias Lindholm only had 0 point or 0 goals, 0 assists, plus minus of -1. Oof. One shot and no whatever. Yeah, all right, you know what? Yeah, just yeah. All right. Team USA. Here we are. Let's see who our Bruins were on. This one, what they did today. McAvoy, he had no goals, no assists, a plus minus of 0, and then one shot. Ugh. And then yeah, Swayman wasn't that on or behind the pipes or was the goalie today. Right. It was Carter Helleback. Yeah, Carter Helleback. Yep. All right. So that's it for the quarterfinals. So it looks like the semifinals will be played Friday, and it will be, here we are, Finland versus Canada, and then USA versus Slovakia. All right. And whoever wins that will go to the gold medal game on Sunday, and then the loser will have to play for bronze on Saturday. So, yeah. We might get a couple of Bruins. Well, maybe if you think about a next Bruin, too, if you think of Brad Marchand on Team Canada. Yeah. All right, so that is it for that. All right, let's get into this little Red Sox jersey fiasco that I've been hearing so much about today. This little Fanatics jersey that everybody's all up in arms about on Red Sox Nation. All right, so it looks like the Red Sox today announced that this is what they'll be wearing for at least the home jerseys, sponsored by Nike, but also manufactured by Fanatics and sold by Fanatics. So anyway, so they announced today as part, and this is their tweet or basically a post on X. Well, actually, I refuse to call it X. It's Twitter. It'll always stay Twitter. Anywho, anywho. So this is what they posted on Twitter as part of MLB's return to the 2023 jersey template. We approved a design for our home white jerseys, which Fanatics produce exactly to our specs, or specifics, or I think maybe Pacifics. I think they were just trying to, yeah. But anyway, once they are produced and seen in person, we felt there should be more spacing between the lettering and piping. We're just adjusting the home whites to achieve this separation. The updated jerseys will be ready for opening day. Zoom in on the jersey. Yeah, it looks like the lettering is basically kind of overlapping a little bit of the piping, but okay. Yeah, you could now see a huge difference from last year's where, like, I mean, it's nowhere any, or at least nowhere near, but there is some space in between the lettering and the jersey, where now, if you look now, it's kind of like at least the D is kind of overlapping. A little bit of the S is overlapping on the piping. Okay, that kind of does look bad. Ugh. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yep, and everybody is up in arms. I can now see why everybody's pissed off right now. Ooh. All right. I just saw something an unrelated but more Red Sox. But all right, Roman Anthony looks good in Team USA, huh? All right. All right. Anywho, so back to so also too. Hold on, I also got to do. So I can now kind of see where, yeah, I feel like people would get very upset about this. Yeah, exactly. Hold on. Ah. All right. So yeah, so after all the complaints and seeing all the, oh wait, that is okay. So that is, so I basically wrote off the response to the complaining. Okay, well anyway, so yeah, Yeah. Okay, well, sorry about that, guys. I thought that was the actual. Okay, but anyway, so it kind of looked like the Red Sox were kind of throwing Fanatics under the bus and making it so, oh, it's not our fault, guys. It's never our fault. It's them. Fanatics did this. Fucking hell. Oh, I'm kind of looking at somebody's feet. They're ugly. We are trying again. It was like an updated version of their response. Jeez. I mean, I can understand, and a little bit is too. I just feel like Fanatics is doing like kind of a bad them and kind of Nike with the jerseys and stuff like that. Like, well, Fanatics mostly. Fanatics, like a while back, I mean, you kind of remember they were designing some of the jerseys and stuff like that, and like even some of the pants were kind of like starting to fall apart too. The jerseys were starting to fall apart, and like there was like a big deal. Everybody was up in arms about this thing. I mean, I could kind of understand the end Fanatics stuff, but at the same time, too, this is my opinion. The only way you're gonna get like stuff like the jerseys and stuff like that, I feel like now you gotta all go through Fanatics with all that stuff. Yeah, like MLB, the NFL, the NBA, the NHL. Heck, I got a jersey, and I wasn't even happy about the jersey either from the Fanatics because I don't think it was bad quality and stuff like that, but it just took long to get to my house. Like they act like, oh, we'll get this to you like in like so and so business days. Yeah, which doesn't take a while. I mean, this is like the first time like for the Bruins jersey that came like late, which kind of sucked because I was gonna use that for our Bruins game. We went up to Chicago to play when they faced the Blackhawks. I was gonna like parade that around like as kind of like yeah. Thank you, Fanatics. We're doing that for not just getting that jersey on time. Which now kind of worries me about this Red Sox sweatshirt I just bought just a few days ago. Lovely. Well, at least that wasn't like white in the home jersey lookalike. It was just like a plain just Red Sox jersey or Red Sox. But yeah, even some of the hats are even doing too, and some of that stuff too. Like, like, like it's like kind of like they're not really trying. That does kind of look bad for a company like Fanatics to do. You would think how they pride themselves as the official, and that's what I mean by the official gear of all the four sports teams, even soccer and stuff like that too. Like you would think they would try to do a good job with some of this stuff, like try to get this down to them. Like, and some of the stuff looks like they're not even trying. Yeah, with some of this, like even as I said, the piping and stuff like that looks off. So I can kind of see where some Red Sox fans are so up in arms. Yeah, it just it was just a funny or someone kind of funny, but also kind of outrageous thing to see today. I also kind of love it how the Red Sox just basically just threw somebody under the bus and just saying, you know what, it's our fault, guys. Let's just like everything else they've done. Like, oh yeah. Which by the way, Sam Kennedy is now throwing Alex Bregman under the bus. I forgot to mention that too. He basically said like, well, he didn't want to be here. Yeah, I think he wanted to be here. I don't think you wanted him here. Like you said, oh, he's too old. Yeah, like I love it how they just throw that. It's like, oh, he didn't want to be here. See, he wanted to go to the Cubs instead. Like, no, I think he wanted to be here. He just didn't want to give him the money. Yeah, it's just shit. Oh my God, I love it how they try to think they can get out of all this stuff. My fucking God. All right. Anyway, all right. So to wrap it up, let's wrap up this show. Oh. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's go over to. So I did say so. Technically, this schedule or like the home and away opponents were announced actually in January, so we're literally a month or so late announcing this. So anywho, so it was announced. Just gotta do like some little like off season kind of just um kind of you know what. But I kind of did hear Max Crosby could be coming to the Patriots once free agency does start. Wouldn't hate that. Yeah. All right. So it was announced the home and away. So home, it looks like, and this isn't in order. This is who we're not playing. This is who we're basically home and away. It's not like anything. I don't think even the official schedule will be announced till later on. Yeah, no. All right, home. So Packers, Vikings, Broncos, Raiders, Steelers, Bills, Dolphins, and Jets. All right, so, yeah. All right, and then road. Man, we got like one game more. All right. All right, we go to the Bears. All right, so maybe that might be a boots on the ground kind of thing. Lions, Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks. Oh, wow. Super Bowl 60 rematch. Okay. Right. All right. Jaguars, Bills, Dolphins, and Jets. Well, I think that's normal. I think it might be our turn maybe to play the. Wait, no, actually, hold on. No, we're playing the NFC North this year as like interconference play and stuff like. Okay, yeah. So it's the all right. Maybe they just add that there. Yeah, that's just kind of funny. It's just kind of funny how we just played the Seahawks in the Super Bowl and we're already getting like a Super Bowl 60 rematch already. All right. But anywho, well, yeah. All right. So we're gonna look ahead to the Celtics and Warriors game once more time. Basically, yeah, it's like basically they're on the road. They start back up action again tomorrow, and that game will be a 9 p.m. tip offs, 10 p.m. Eastern time, but whatever time zone you live in, you know what to do. Just tune in, find out what time it is in your time zone, and tune in. All right. I think I talked your ear off long enough. All right. All right. So thanks, guys, for listening. And so I'm not really sure about this, too. One more thing. So I'm not sure how long we'll be on Apple Podcast. Got an email today saying, like, hey, can you, like, maybe move it to, like, a, like, new? Yeah, but I don't know. All right. We'll figure it out. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but anyway. But yeah. All right. Talk, guys, tomorrow. All right. To recap, Celtics and Warriors. All right. Banyana.